joining us today for our 40th, wait, is that right? Our 40th episode. We talked about it last week and then I forgot to double check that. Today is March 7th. I do know that.
It is our 40th.
Yeah, this is our 40th episode. Wow, that's crazy.
I don't even think we missed a week.
Did we miss a week when we were with Grandma?
Yes.
I think that might be the only week and maybe one around Christmas or something. I'm not sure.
If we missed any other ones, it would have been at the cabin, but I think we figured out a way to do it after the cabin or something.
Yeah, I thought we recorded
before the cabin.
So we've pretty much done it 40 weeks in a row, which has been fun.
I'm not usually that consistent in anything. as evidenced by this bucket of whips.
We usually like to hop from one project to another, which makes us really successful Flosstubers.
You know what I saw today? I saw this, somebody posted this question. I think it was on Stitching with the Housewives or the Real Housewives.
The Facebook group?
Yeah. And I think it was on that group. And they said, there were two weird comments. There was one, I shouldn't say that in case they watch us. One of them was I'm sorry.
Surprising.
It was surprising. I think I'm going to have to stop cross stitching because I just don't really have any place to hang anything anymore, and I just don't have any need.
Matter?
I think it might have been that. So somebody answered in that. I think it was that one, or maybe it was another question where they said, "Other than framing, what else are you doing?" Anyway, there were two different questions, but in one of those questions, somebody answered, you could just. Somebody said, I cross stitch for the pleasure of the cross stitching, and I don't finish hardly anything. I just have them displayed they're just laying in a crate. And Aunt Nancy actually commented, I think, on that thread and said, why don't you do a scrapbook with your pieces, like smaller pieces, which I have seen. Amy Loves Toads does that. And she's referenced several people that do that with little tiny smalls that you're not really going to display as a pillow.
Yeah.
But I thought, I feel like I'm kind of that way. Like I'm okay with those pieces back there in that big bucket. There's like a whole bunch of them in there that aren't framed. Some of them I do want to frame.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
stacked like this big of things that I haven't framed over the years either. And I probably will want to, but I'm also like obviously not chomping on the bit to get it done because it's more about the process for me. So it's so like unfathomable to me to say, I don't think I can keep cross stitching because I don't have a place to display it. Like, stab me in the heart. How could you stop for that reason?
I know.
I would just be giving them away, or there's so many things I would love to do that would enable me to keep lighting and cross stitch. But some people really are product oriented, and some people are more process oriented, and I'm process oriented.
There was a lot of discussion about that in the knitting community a while back about whether you were a process or a product knitter, and with knitting,
I'm a product knitter for knitting.
And I'm not, which makes sense then. I like to have the product.
I knit pretty monogamously. I have a few going, but I think that's why I'm kind of more of a monogamous knitter in general, because I want to do one and have it, because I think it's functional. You wear it. Like I want it to be able to wear it and use it. Whereas cross stitch, I don't really use it. I just look at it and it's pretty.
Right.
But I don't want to get to a point where I can use it, where knitting I do.
Yeah. So I thought about getting a nice, pretty, I do have several pieces that just aren't going to get finished right away. Some of them are older pieces that I've shown. But I thought I'd
just like mount them on sticky board, kind of stitch the back up and put them in and even like finish them with like, I'm not you necessarily, because you still have, you could put stuff up, but some people wanted to do a scrapbook. What am I talking about? I'm sure there are so many people who have done this. You could probably just go Google it, but you could even finish it with like rickrack around it and do cute finishes and then still slip it into a little binder for a scrapbook.
Yeah, I know.
Or something. There's all kinds of things you could do.
Yeah.
If you ever wanted to give them away, you just pop them out and put them in a frame or something.
Yeah. I've seen people say, I can't stitch anymore. My eyes aren't going to tolerate it, or I can't stitch because my hands are hurting. But just because I don't have anywhere to display it.
So what are your thoughts, our lovely friends? Would you keep stitching if you had nowhere else to display it? Are you a process or product stitcher? Yeah, love to hear what everybody else's thoughts are on that.
What you should do sometime is watch Kitten Stitcher's videos. I haven't watched any of her newest ones, but I was watching her like last year. and she's got this beautiful craft room that she was recording in, and the walls are just covered. There's no theme. It's just her pieces. They're beautiful. A lot of them are beautiful, the reproduction samplers.
Yeah.
But they're just all different frame sizes. And, that would be lovely to be able to do that. I don't have the space for that in my house, but anyway, that's an option.
Make space. You could pick a room like the one you're in right now and cover it all with.
I could, but this isn't really my room.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of Carrie's room too. And he probably wouldn't care, but no, he was more into getting artwork for here.
He might care because he had some specific ideas about artwork in there.
Anyway,
well,
I did not bring a previous finish in.
I don't have one either, but the girls are ready to share stuff. We have 2 girls today. I told Rosie she could go first.
Okay.
But Millie's peeking her head back there. Rosie has about as much as she ever does to show.
Did she do a couple stitches before you started recording?
Did you stitch today?
No.
Oh, no, this was done earlier in the week?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for Taekwondo, so for those of you who don't know, girls are taking Taekwondo, and all of the classes are on Zoom still. I think they probably could open up, but the couple who owns the dojang, the business, are expecting a baby really soon, and there's a whole bunch of people, they're moving. So I think they're keeping everything on Zoom for simplicity before opening back up. But one of the homework, do you want to tell what the homework was?
To do an activity.
Every day.
Every day.
A little bit, even just a little bit, because they are working on the character trait. Do you remember it? What's the character trait you were focusing on?
Dedication. Dedication.
Dedication. So anyways, Rosie chose cross stitch. And you did a stitch a day?
No.
But she was working on part of that week was last time, like that, some of that fell into what she showed last week. But
okay.
So that's what she's working on, this little Bucilla kit. If that's how you say that, Bucilla.
Bucilla, yeah.
And she's starting on the black in the next wing.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the progress. Yeah.
Oops.
Good job.
Yeah, she's doing it. Just like with everything, cross stitch a little tiny bit at a time ends up with big results.
Good job.
It's no big hurry. You don't have to hurry.
Way to be dedicated.
Work on it a little bit.
I think Mimi needs to work on some dedication.
Mimi needs to pick one piece and dedicate herself to it. That's what WIPCO is, right? It's working on my dedication.
12 pieces on there that I'm dedicated to.
Well, in a month, I dedicate myself. Are you coming? Other one? And then we have Millie.
Must have started her new.
She's trying to surprise. There's a special finish. Maybe you'll notice it.
Oh, she finished her hat.
Good
job.
She did it all herself, except I did like the last row of, I finished the very end. Turn around.
Oh, Millie, that's adorable.
Squat.
Good job. Did you do that in the round or did you seam it?
What? We did it around. She knitted it in the round.
Wow, new skill learned and everything. Good job, girlfriend.
She did all the decreasing herself and everything.
Wow.
Knit 2 together and knit 9, knit 2 together, knit 9, and then the next row.
Looks really cozy, and that rolled brim is adorable on her.
Soft. Do you remember what the name? This is that yarn that we got when we went to the Tri-Cities. In that yarn store, and I can't remember the name. Sirdar, maybe? Sirdar?
Maybe. She had some of that in there. One of the girls bought some Sirdar.
This is one of the acrylic Sirdar, like kind of printed, like, what's that called when it has a...
Turned out cute. Don't lose it.
No, it's dirty.
I want it for next winter now.
I know. Rosie's really jealous. Well, not jealous, but she keeps trying to steal it.
Oh.
Rosie likes it. Did you have any cross stitching? I think you just were working on knitting this week.
I finished my other one.
Yeah. Well, good job.
Okay. Good job, honey. I'm really proud of you.
Want to say bye?
Good. Looks really good.
Wait, can we have a snack?
Never. Yes, you can pick something from downstairs, though. Don't rumble around in the kitchen. I don't have any previous finishes either. I haven't bought any spring stuff, but I don't even think I really have any spring. I might have something next week that you stitched for me a long time ago, but I didn't remember to bring it down. So
I put my spring piece from Alicia Paulson on the green fabric.
Oh,
that came out yesterday, but I've shown that before.
I haven't put that up yet. I have to find it. I don't have it. I still kind of have my winter stuff up. I need
Yeah.
to switch it out. I was going to do that this weekend, but Jesse's sister, my husband's sister, came and visited. So we went on a hike yesterday afternoon instead of taking down winter decorations.
And I took down winter and put up spring. About killed me because I'm so out of shape, apparently, that decorating my house causes me great pain. But I did do it, even though I don't really like spring. I'm embracing it. I do like what I did. It does look cute.
It's cute.
And that'll stay up now until maybe May. I'm thinking I might put my patriotic stuff up in the middle of May. So it'll be up. I don't really know, though. I don't really want patriotic up in June. But I have some cute patriotic stuff, and to put it up just for the 4th of July doesn't seem like. So I might put it up at the end of May and have it up from Memorial Day through June and 4th of July, and then put up sunflowers until fall. So I kind of have a plan.
That sounds good. I don't have a plan this year. I probably will.
Yeah. Well, you kind of do. Well, you don't do patriotic. You might just do your sunflower stuff earlier.
Yeah, usually, what do I do? I have a few. I don't even know if I have any summery pieces yet. Well, I have things of summer ready to go out this year from Alicia Paulson. I don't know. I'll have to pull.
You do. You have a small sunflower piece that you did.
Yeah, I had some sunflowery ones. I just don't know if I have a lot finished. I have that really cute lighthouse one that I was working on that I'm hoping to finish. I thought of another classic Colorworks or Gentle Arts or something that I'm missing, and I should have told
Well,
it.
I'll probably go again next week.
Yeah, or I'll just order it, but I never seem to get around to it. But
Sarah's thread mule.
You're my thread mule. Send me the stuff in the mail undercover.
Mm-hmm. I do have a piece to show next week. That was the Bent Creek that I did for spring. So I'll show it next week. But I do have a finish.
Let's see.
I want you all to contain your shock.
A finish.
I have a finish. Are you ready for this? I'm so in love with this.
I don't know what it is.
I know. I kept it a secret from you. Hold on.
Oh, you finished it.
It's coming out really blue here. You can't really. I
But
finished.
it's not that blue in person.
Isn't it? You know, I mean, the fabric is blue, but she's lighter. I did all of that and all of that. And I did this, and this. There's another motif up here that I did not do because I was up at 2 o'clock in the morning Friday to get this done. But I changed these motifs up. They were all supposed to be this brown. And I thought, no, I don't want to do all brown. So I changed them up a little bit. I'm so proud of myself.
Wow.
So this was a start in October, I think, for Magazine Monthly. So anyway, Barbara Anna. It was in the primitive punch needle and primitive stitcher fall 2020 there. Now it lightened up a little bit.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's just such Barbara Anna.
That is.
I have a very Barbara Anna week, by the way, this week.
A very Barbara Anna week.
I had a very Barbara Anna week this week. So anyway, that's my finish. I think I'm just going to do it.
Okay.
I don't know how I'm going to finish it, but I've got plenty of.
Yeah, you'll have a lot left. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't know. And maybe I'll just do a little help.
You could stitch 3 more projects on that.
Probably just do a little pillow out of it. It's kind of too small. Now I got really, oh, there we go. It's kind of too, you know, if I framed it, it'd have to be in a frame that had a stand and I have to sit it somewhere. And my fall, I have so much fall stuff.
Yeah, you do.
That I could tuck a little pillow in somewhere. And she's really not that big. So anyway, that was a very big, I've had 2 finishes in the last couple of weeks. I did that 80.
I know. I'm very impressed.
So anyway, that was very exciting. I really should have gone to bed, but I kept thinking so close to a finish, and I didn't want to work on it on Saturday. This was Friday night. I didn't want to work on it Saturday because I knew I was going to be working on decorations and stuff. So I just pushed through and did it.
Okay,
so that's my finish. Anyway, that was a huge thing for me.
That's so nice. I don't have any finishes this week, but I'm making good progress. Do you want me to show my whips first?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm jiggling. My husband's monitors are on a hydraulic, and when I cough, I don't know why they're wiggling. But yeah.
Well, so this week, so my whip go goals this month are 8 hours on Snapperland from Bent Creek, right? Bent Creek, which you got from me when you were in Minnesota.
Yes.
So I've been working on this little fella, and
we might go back.
Oh, fun!
And I'll get to go to that shop.
Well, maybe I'll just tag along in your suitcase.
Sure.
Well, this is what I've been doing. So I worked some more on the ice rink.
Cute.
But
Oh,
I really didn't work on this enough this week. So this coming week, that's in the plan. I'll talk about it later, but that's in my plans. So I only really have worked a half hour on that whole WIPCO piece so far this month, which is not enough.
yeah.
And so anyways, but I'll catch up. I can just focus on it more intentionally this week. I really did not get, I felt like, good concentrated stitching time this week. I had an Etsy order for a knit item that for some reason just, I was really pokey on it. It was really hard to be motivated to work on it. But when I would work on it, I was really just, I don't know, it just felt like it was dragging on. That took up a couple of nights almost of stitching because I'm trying to go to bed a little earlier and have good, healthier habits. But that really, really cuts into my stitching time. So anyways, I did not get as much done as I would have liked, but I worked on this Patty O'Hare. I guess I don't need to show the pattern. I need to show the fabric. And it's on this really stiff, I wonder if it says what this is. It's such an interesting fabric. It's,
wait till you see my blue that I'm working on. It could stand up on its own on the floor.
yeah, that's like basically what I feel like about this. It's so, I was trying to see, willow green hand-dyed linen. It doesn't really say what they used.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, R&R Reproductions.
Oh.
Product sources, fabric, R&R Reproductions. Anyways, it's beautiful. I love the color of it. It's just super stiff. Mm-hmm. But it does mean the holes are really easy to see. Mm-hmm. I accidentally, so last week, this blue fell out of the packet, out of my project bag. And I'm actually working on another project that uses that same blue. So I misplaced it. And then I took this with us on the drive to hike, thinking I would finish filling in all this blue in the car. Didn't have the blue, so I started on its little gingham checkered sleeve.
Cute. Oh, that's such a cute little gingham shirt.
Not very much, but I was hoping to get a lot more of that blue done. So now I have correctly replaced that thread, and we'll try to work on that more this week. And my goal last week was to finish the second clue for Dreaming Girl Stitch Along from Barbara Anna. And I did finish the second clue, and I printed off the third clue, but I haven't worked on it yet. So here she is. The only thing I didn't get done in the second clue is I'm missing one of these yellows, and I haven't figured out if I want to substitute a yellow or buy it. I might just substitute it. It's such a small piece.
I haven't gotten to that clue yet. Is her shoulders on her shirt black, or is it a dark blue?
It's, I think it's 3371. I think it's that dark brown.
I'm not sure if I'm going to use that color with my gray hair.
Yeah, you might use a different color. You could do
I might need to pastel her up a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Oops, sorry. The project.
I'll look around on Instagram so I can get jealous of all the ones that I wished I'd done mine like.
No more Instagram searching. Who knows what you'll rip out if you start digging around on Instagram.
Oh, no, I'm not ripping. You'll see why.
Oh, okay.
I've settled. I'm happy. I've made peace with it.
What was I feel like I had a specific goal this last week. Oh, I was hoping to I think I was just hoping to make progress on the border for this Joyful World border. And I went all the way up through the side of the top with
Daryl.
I know, and then I'll just have across this top once I finish, and then of course all the floral.
Yeah, but still, you get the framework in.
Yeah, I know it'll go, I think, kind of fast. I'm sort of tempted now to just continue that brown across the top, and then just pick all the green and across the top and all the light green and just kind of pick one thread to finish filling in.
Yeah.
So I'm not constantly switching between threads.
Right.
I think it'll be done soon.
Yeah, that'd be impressive.
That's what I put the most work on this week. And then the last thing I worked on is my other WIPCO piece is this toile sampler. And I had a question in the comments about where this pattern is and where you can find it. So let me show you. It was from Linda Stitches asked about this pattern. So it's in this Better Homes and Gardens, a Christmas cross stitch. And the year is, I feel like this is let me check. Where's the date, the publishing date? Yeah, it is the 2003. They put one out each year, at least for a period of time. So this is the 2003. The design name, I don't know. You might be able to find this. I kind of searched toile sampler cross stitch, but I didn't do a great job searching.
Wonder, I bet that book is still available though, maybe.
I bet you can find it on eBay. I'll try and, yeah, maybe I'll try and look the design. Make sure I'm getting this right. The design is by Laura Holtorf Collins. I'll show you the name, and then I'll dig around a little and see if I can find this book online. And if so, I'll put a link in our comments or in our description box. The project instructions begin on this page. Okay, designer Laura Holtorf Collins. I can't read it backwards.
I can't see it very well. Yes, Holtorf Collins.
So I'll make a note to myself to.
What year is it again?
2003. So if you're interested in this pattern that I'm about to show, that I do really like, that's where you can find it. I don't know that it was ever released separately, but I will also search around for that. And if so, I'll put a link in our description box. So I finished the man. I had him partly done last time I showed this. I finished the snowball, and I didn't realize that I had stopped stitching before finishing his legs. So I put his shoes right about there. So that's how long his legs were. And then I looked at it, I was like, that's not lining up right. And then I realized I really needed to.
That's what I did with those ducks in March, Joyful World March. My duck feet were way.
Why is this man so stubby? His legs look wrong. So now he's fixed. And I modified the dog a little bit. I didn't like the way they had the dog. Let me see if I can find the pattern again. It's fine, but its head kind of looked weird when I started looking at stitching it. I don't know. It's actually not too bad actually.
It's like it's got an eye way back in the back of its head.
Yeah, the eye, that is supposed to be the eye, and it's just blank. It's just they leave it blank.
Yeah, but it's in the wrong spot.
I know. I think I would move it one stitch over the other direction, wouldn't you?
And then maybe it wouldn't have looked so weird. I think that's what makes it look weird.
So what I ended up doing is I did not add that row on top of his head. And then I just added like a little ear. So obviously it's not done because I just was stitching on that last I was working on it. But I'm hoping that that will make it more, it looks more like a pointer. I don't know, just not as round.
It has more of a distinct shape.
I thought about putting a little stitch here on the end of its nose, like a nose, but then he might look like Rudolph, and I don't want him to look like I think it looks fine.
Yeah.
Or I thought about making his ear a little taller, but no, when I'm looking at it as it's done, he'll have a little collar, a light blue.
And the context tells you it's a dog. I mean, you know.
The tail obviously looks like a dog wagging its tail. And
I mean, it's clearly an abstract-y kind of.
Yeah. And I'm debating whether to put an eye in or not. And if I do, I think I'm going to move it over one stitch that direction because it's over so far towards the back of its head in the picture.
Yeah.
In the print. And then this little brick walkway, I think, turned out really cute.
Yeah, cute.
So that I worked on that. I've probably hit almost 2 hours of work on that for my Whip Go goals. So that's everything that I worked on this week.
What's our Whip Go goal again? 10 hours?
8 hours.
Oh, good. Because I was thinking last month, even 8 seemed a little much for me with all the other stuff I have going on.
You have a lot more going on. I pretty much just focus on my Whip Go pieces and then
I might
whatever else I feel like I want to.
Yeah, I might make an executive decision and just knock that down. Just given the fact that I've got Magazine Monthly going on and.
Yeah, and see, I'm not doing that, so I don't really have as much to do. So that's everything that I stitched.
Okie dokie. Well.
Plus all my knitting I did for that.
Okay. Good. So I worked a couple days. 4 days. Not all day. I mean, I tried some nights. I worked on 3 different things, so I didn't give everything a lot of love. But I worked on my Dreaming Girl, and I got her hair all the way done.
Oh, cute.
So her face is going to start here.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's the top of her head.
Yeah.
I almost pointed like you could see what I'm pointing to.
Yeah, I know I've done that to you too. So I got all the fill in. So anyway, yeah.
Cute.
So I start that. So Clue 1's all done. I haven't started Clue 2, but that will be.
No, Clue 1 has her face and her body on it too.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't even have Clue 1 done. I'm just the pokey little puppy over here.
Whenever.
Then I worked on my joyful.
Dedication means a little bit at a time and big results.
I really embrace that little bit.
Dedication.
I worked on my Joyful World March. Had I started that? I hadn't started that last week because March.
No, because we were just right.
I got, whoopsie, gonna have to change my method here. I did all these.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really like it on your fabric, Mom.
Yeah, I'm really liking it. I do like it on the.
Hear how those look on mine, because I think they look really much prettier on yours. Did you
I
change
was
the color?
surprised at no, I'm just using all Gentle Arts. I'm really splurgy, but you did too. I'm surprised at how brown. I thought it was going to be pinker, but it's actually a more brown color.
I just also think it looks just really different on the gray than the brown.
Yeah, it does make it look a little.
I like it on yours, those specific colors.
So this is a Whipco piece for me, and I did for this month, and I did two. Let's see, what did I do? I've done 4.5 hours on this. So I mean, but my goal also is to get this done this month. So it doesn't matter if it takes me 8 hours or 6 hours. I'm going to just do it.
I really loved it. I was thinking about this piece as I was working on it last night, and I just thought, I love this piece. I'm so glad I'm stitching it.
There are a lot of people, my lighting changes there are a lot of people that are still joining in on this. Like this was from 2016 and people are still hopping on the bandwagon. In fact, somebody was on one of my groups on Facebook she had all of them printed out but couldn't find January somehow on her blog. I said, oh, people were jumping in, but I said, you go to her Facebook group, all the files were there. So, I mean, what a gift.
And I don't know that the border is easy to find on her blog. I found it through the Facebook, the big border that I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you wanted to do that and you can't find it on her blog, go find her Facebook group for the Snowflower Diaries.
Yeah, that's where I printed them all. It's in the files. Just go to the files. And they bumped them to the top.
Is it the Snowflower Diaries group or is it her own?
No. Joyful World SAL group.
I mean,
it's called Joyful.
The Joyful World group. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it
I don't know if she has enough.
I love it.
Yeah.
Once I have it on the wall, I think I'm going to have a hard time not just staring at it all the time. I just think it's just that. I think partly because it's so big. I'm pretty sure I'm going to put it here. I'm going to show you. I think I'm going to put it when it's done. I don't know how messy this room is, so forgive me. I have for years not known what to do. How do I do my finger here? There we go. On this wall. So right now it just has these pictures here that I don't like them located there or anything. Like they're just there because I needed something on the wall. And my husband, Jesse, was just like, here's some pictures when we moved in. And I haven't changed it at all because I have never felt like, yes, that is what I want there.
You can move them over to the brick wall behind you and have a portrait wall on that.
Yeah, I kind of want more photos on this wall, I think.
Yeah.
And then I could put that Joyful World because it's going to be huge. I mean, it's like huge.
Yeah, by the time you get it in a frame.
Once it's framed and up, it'll probably and that'll just be a perfect place for it to just live year round because it'll just be, I won't probably take it down seasonally because it's a calendar.
No, right. I wouldn't take it down.
It'll be the perfect solution for that blank white wall that I've never.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice.
I really need something big there kind of to.
Right.
Put it in perspective. I could maybe add some small pieces around it, but.
Anyway. Oh yeah. If you took those pictures down, you could have you could even have little seasonal pictures around it to go with the calendar theme.
Yeah.
To continue with my Barbara Anna theme, I started my magazine monthly March piece, which was the theme is blue for Carolyn Zook's birthday. Blue moderators. So it's a Barbara Anna out of the 2020 spring punch needle primitive stitcher.
Yeah. Somebody I saw just stitched that on
really?
Instagram. I can't remember who it was.
Oh, I love it. But let me tell you, this is the fabric, and I'm gonna have to cut it because it's huge. I bought it this fabric was I bought it on Amazon. It's Witchelt Premium Linen, Touch of Blue, 18 by 27 count. Okay. It was cheap. I mean, not cheap, but it's like $19. And so it's a big piece.
Oh, it's so stiff.
It is so stiff.
That'll soften up.
I know, but I can hardly get my hoop on it.
That's so tight.
So you can see I'm literally like sitting there taking the needle out and scrunching it before I put the hoop on. I have to have a hoop on it. Yeah. But I did get a new needle because I've been hearing more and more people working on some linens talking about their threads shredding. when they're using two threads, and it has to do with the needle. And I did look at one of my needles recently, and I'm like, oh, the needle I was using for Joyful World, I'm like, how old is this needle? And I could actually feel the roughness in it.
In the eye of it?
Inside the eye. Yeah, I ran my
I have a
finger.
couple needles, and I didn't realize that was an age thing. I just figured it was an imperfection.
Yeah, I mean, it could just happen. Anyway, so I got a little start on
I
her
probably
little
need some
key.
more needles. Oh, cute. I really like that one too. Yeah, that's cute.
The problem with this camera is I can't get it close enough and have it still focused. Yeah. So I feel like my stuff always looks really far away. Sorry viewers. But so anyway, I worked on that Monday, and I worked on it a little bit this morning. So it's cute, and I don't think it'll take that long.
I bet that one you'll fly through kind of quickly.
I'm really liking. I've got so many big pieces that it's really fun to have these smalls going along. Dreaming Girl, Barbara Anna Spring, Joyful World. For one of our winter Monday or Wednesday, I kind of glommed them together. Winter's Peace came up.
Oh, good.
I did work. I think I bought this linen also on Amazon. It's Icelandic blue. It's not as stiff. It's stiff. And all I did was,
oh yeah, you filled it in a little bit.
I filled in his face, and I filled in the first row of his body. And this is this thread is a real variegated thread. It's got a real gray. I like it a lot. It gives it, you can see the gray running through there. So I don't know if I have a picture of this piece in case people are new. This is also
a black and white one or something.
No, I have a color one.
Oh,
I ripped it out of the magazine.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah.
This piece. And this was out of the 2020 Christmas Winter Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I really like that magazine too, and I think I'm gonna subscribe to it because it's hard to find. I mean, Barnes and Noble gets them in. I find them at Joann Fabrics like on a fluke sometimes. I never know when they get them. So that was one of our tags. My other WIPGO piece is surprise, another Barbara Anna piece. And I actually finally printed out a color copy of her. It's Forest Queen. So that's what I'm working on. She is my WIPGO, and this is the second time this year that she's been called. I didn't make a.
Isn't that funny? Just 3 months in, and you already have 2 of the same.
Yeah, I don't know how much I did on this. I think I did all of this.
Yeah, I don't think you had any of that done.
Yeah, I did that. Well, that focused in nice. Anyway, it's quirky, love her. I had a very, very sad Barbara Ann experience this week.
You had a sad one?
She came out with a pattern for a Russian shop of some kind, and you guys, I hesitate to even publicize it because I don't want anybody else to go buy it. It's called the Four Seasons. It's her little quirky girls. There's 4 of them to match the seasons, and the colors in it, and they're only a kit. It's only a kit, and it's from a Russian shop. You can get it, off of PayPal. By the time I found it, the kits were all sold out, and I was like devastated because it's not slated to come out as a PDF. I wouldn't even care if I had to. It's all DMC.
Devastated? You were devastated?
I was devastated. I wanted that piece so bad, and I was like, okay, here's my white privilege American showing. I'm like, I'm American, and I couldn't get to it because I'm 10 hours too late. Isn't it? That doesn't do it justice, though. You've got to find. If you go to I don't know, I can't find it right now, but the shop that has it stitched up, and it is so pretty, and it's based on Vivaldi's Four Seasons, and so they've got a link to listening to Vivaldi that you get. There's some freebie patterns that go along with it. So I messaged them, which I love Vivaldi. I've been listening to the Four Seasons off and on all month.
I love the Four Seasons. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, love it. Anyway, so they are going to come out with more shops.
The shirts are so cute on these. How they're all different, seasonal.
Don't you see why I just fell in love with them? I'm a Barbara Anna junkie.
I know, like I think they're cute, but they're not like I'm not devastated at it, but the skirts are really cute.
I was devastated because I got to the website. I figured out how to translate it into English. I found out how to, found out how to order it. And then it wasn't even that bold at the time. They must have just sold out because it was like down little tiny sold out. I'm like, what do you mean it's sold out? I'm
Probably
just
in
here.
the store now because.
But they're waiting for some shipment of fabric. So they're hoping by the end of the month they'll have more. And they weren't that expensive.
So maybe you'll get more. Maybe you'll have another chance.
Well, I'm on a pre-order list.
So nobody here go order it because Mom will be devastated if she doesn't. We don't know if we'll see her the next week if she loses.
I don't know. You know haven't you ever just seen a piece?
I'm just teasing you.
I think that's how I felt about Joyful World when I first found it. I fell in love with that piece. And then when I saw the lady that didn't do the borders and it just all flows, I fell in love with it all over again. It just grabbed my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And thought that's, you guys, I don't leave my house. It doesn't take much to devastate me anymore. I do leave my house. I am going out for pizza tonight.
I know. Look at you. You be all
pretty. And I do
pretty.
go to the thread store, my lovely little thread needle street. Forest Queen got 2 hours and 20 minutes towards my Whipco. So, I mean, there's still plenty of time.
Oh, yeah.
And then I had a devastating disaster. Because
I'm not sure whether to title this video Devastation or Dedication. So I think they might end up both in the title of this video.
Okay, so the wheel pulled up hoity-toity. Now, keep in mind, my friends, I'm doing this 1/1. You know what? I should try doing this half stitch. Huh?
Devastated. That's just such a strong.
I don't have a lot of other stuff in my life that's devastating.
Maybe crest.
Which is good. I'm really glad this is all that's devastating in my life. Please, gods, don't bring me any real devastation. I had enough of that last year. But anyway, so I was supposed to work on my itty bitty hoity-toity. Yes. And I've got no more on it than I did when I started. And you see all this lovely black area?
Oh, you had to rip it? Oh.
Rip it and rip it and rip it and rip it. And it was not easy to rip. It was.
Were you just off a little bit or something?
There's 2 more blocks down here.
Oh.
2 more of those. And then it curves up over here. I started trying to curve it up.
Early.
And then I started it again, and then I was off, and it's so tiny, and it was in the nighttime, and I really do love hoity-toity, although I'm really jealous of so Jan Hicks did it a color conversion, but
maybe I'll stitch it with Jan Hicks's color conversion.
You can't get all the colors though. They're classic cotton work. Cotton.
So I'd have to come up with something else anyway.
You might be able to get some of them. That club though, she doesn't like repeatedly. I don't know what, but you must be able to because Carolyn Zook is doing her conversion.
Maybe I'll do my own conversion.
Yeah, and it's very pretty pinks and blues. It is really pretty. I do love this, and I think the farther I get into it, I will love it even more.
The original colors are really pretty.
They are really pretty. And I've mentioned before that Kindred Stitcher is working on it, and she was the first one I saw other than Jan Hicks and doing just the called for DMCs. And it's a big piece. So if you're going to do it in overdyes, it's an investment because it's big. It's hard to, unless you're doing it on this. But I mean, theirs are all twice as big as this because they're doing it over 2. But anyway, it was not a good week for hoity-toity, and I don't know when it'll get called again. Hopefully not for a while. And then the rest of the week, I did Trick or Treat Cat and finished it. I did Dreaming Girls and finished it. Not finished it, but worked on her. I worked on my spring piece twice, the Barbara Anna, and then I did work on one last piece, Mr. Pete, using the Shepherd's Bush color conversion.
Oh, that's cute. That's very cute.
The color they sent me for this band, and it's going to be on his little scarf, is more of a pale green. I didn't like it, so I just used the called for DMC because I wanted it to be blue. But anyway, he got a lot of love.
Are you going to put the pale green on the lower?
No, I'll use the blue. I'll use the color. It's this aquamarine blue. I don't think I even had the flower done last week. I think I just had.
You just had the leaf done.
Yeah. So anyway,
Stem
it's tinier than I thought it was going to be, and I really love it. This is on a Belfast linen 32 count. I'm really kind of having a love affair with 32 count. All of a sudden.
Yeah.
With my light. Now, this is the other thing that this leads me into, though. I bought this piece, like a big package of it at, I think it was Hobby Lobby's Artiste. So it was 18 by 27 inches. So it's a big piece. Okay. So, and you can see my previous start down here before I change my color. So this goes into some of my notations. We have our Barbara Burgeot Richards SAL going along. And I've talked before about how hard the piece that I'm doing, the symbols are to read on it. And I have several of those patterns. I may actually give those patterns away or give them to you if you want them, because I don't know if I'll ever do them, because there's a couple that I probably might try, but I wasn't wanting to work on it, and I just didn't work on it. It's an adorable pattern, but it's too much work.
Cross stitching is supposed to be enjoyable.
Yeah, and it wasn't enjoyable.
Don't do it.
Yeah. So meanwhile, I had one of her pieces out of a magazine that I did years ago. It was probably in, I don't think this has a date. It was a leisure arts magazine probably. And I put it up at Christmas time. And it's a mom and a dad facing each other with a tree in the middle, a real kind of spindly tree, and a couple of kids and a dog or something. Well, I had never seen this. And I just happened to be trolling around eBay the other day. And this one is called Hearts and Pines. And it complements the one that I have done. And I loved it. And so I ordered it. And actually, they've just taken it very carefully out of a magazine.
It looks, also the border is a lot like Sweethearts.
It is. And it's the same border, I think, on the Christmas one that I did. So I think I gave you that Christmas one. I bought that for you.
Yeah, it's downstairs. I saw it.
Yeah. Anyway, so here's my big dilemma. The measurements on this piece, I want it to be able to fit in an 8 by 10 or smaller, because that's what I have my other one in. Okay. So I was doing all the calculations, and the best size I could find would be to put it on a 22 count over 1. And it would give me, I think, just under 8 by 10 somehow. 7 by something. And so I bought this hardanger. It's an off-white ivory. Okay. But I will have enough of this left over on this 32 count to do it on this, which I think it would be really pretty.
Over 1?
No, over 2.
And that would still give you the room?
The design comes out 8 by something, 10 by something, 10 by, and I'm like, that would put me right up to the edge of my frame, wouldn't it? There'd be no border.
What if you did a 12 by 14 frame?
I didn't want it so big.
Wait, what's the next? 9 by
11 by 14. 11 by 14.
11 by 14.
And I would have a big enough piece of fabric.
You had a mat, like if you put it on sticky board and attached like a mat around it, like a pretty decorative mat.
Where do you find pretty decorative mats?
Oh, I'm sure you can find it on like a framing website or something.
I guess. I don't know. But I am going to start it somehow on something. And I thought about when I bought this ivory, I was going to dye it. And what I really, really want is the same color fabric I bought for that Jardin Primavera, whatever that you did, the Christmas.
Jardin Privé, the summer, the patchwork été. Yeah, I'm not even sure I'm saying that right now.
I got a picture this plus bramble, and I love it. It's kind of a greenish brown, and I think this would be really pretty on a greenish brown, maybe, but maybe not. Now that I look at it, maybe just an off-white would be fine. But my other piece that I did at for Christmas is done on like a fiddler's cloth. So there's a little bit of brown flecks through it. I kind of wanted them to complement. That must have been a smaller pattern, because that's just in an 8 by 10 frame. And it's got plenty of room on the side. So I think I did it on 18 count. So anyway, that's my new dilemma, guys. Stay tuned. I don't know. Huh?
Is bramble's not what I did no, it's too orangey. Sorry, I'm looking at what bramble looks like. Kind of makes me think of what I'm doing my joyful.
It's a little lighter than that.
Okay.
I don't think it's not quite that dark.
That's the 1, 2, 3 stitch picture.
Yeah, I think it's around what I've got. So I don't know. I'm gonna look at what I've. So that is a decision I'm gonna have to make.
Yeah.
Over one on, what did I say? It was 22 count. I can do it. I mean, if I can do over 2 on 36 count, I could do that. But anyway, so that's all I worked on, which was a fair amount.
Good amount.
Yeah, fair amount.
Let's see. I got a special package this week from someone.
You got all.
And look how cute it is, all stickery. I don't really want to advertise my home address everywhere. Not that I think it probably matters at all. But included in this special package from somebody that I love, thank you, was this that we talked about. I think we talked about it on the video last week or the week before.
My friend gave me.
So pretty. This is linen, lavender and lace. What's the name?
Angel of Light.
Angel of Light, probably number 1.
Yeah, I was actually in my Threadneedle Street store, and she said that was the first Angel of Light that she did.
Angel of Light.
1989.
By Marilyn Levitt Emblem.
So anyway, I have it. That's why I passed it on.
Yeah. Sorry, my voice just
never stitched it. I don't know if I did any of her.
I didn't even notice that pretty little.
You know, I never did either until just now. You know, she's beautiful, and I like her better than the second one that came out.
So pretty.
Yeah.
So I don't know when I'll start that. Maybe when I finish one more big project or something, I'll.
Snow Queen?
Yeah, like in 10 years. And then also included is this fabric that I said, oh, well, if you don't want it, use it. I'll take it.
It's pretty grungy. It's pretty grungy.
I already know what I'm going to do on it. So I'll talk about that with plans. I think it'll fit on it.
You see, one of my failed
attempts. What do you think this is?
Huh?
What count is this?
18, I think.
That's what I'm
doing it over 1. You can see my Mr. P.
Yeah, well, it's Ada, so you were definitely doing it over 1.
Yeah, it's 18. I don't do much Ada. It's lower than 8, higher than 18, or lower than 18.
It wouldn't be 16. It doesn't look like 16. It looks
no,
like
16. I don't own any 16.
So this is what you had started your peep on before, right?
Twice before on that.
And I texted you earlier this week. I said, I can see why you didn't like this for peep. It's too grungy for that pattern. But I'll show you what I'm planning to do on it.
And I think that tulip color looks too orangey on it.
Yeah, not for that piece. I don't know. I mean, you could. It wouldn't be the end of the world. But
I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it. It wasn't. I think my idea of spring was more pastel-y.
Yeah, and I think the thing I'm going to put on it might be okay on it. So I have to think about it and do some. Anyway, I'll talk about it in a minute. Do you have any haul? I don't have any other haul besides that.
I do have haul. I do have haul. So I did. This is the first time I've ever. Well, okay, another big dilemma here. Hold on a second. Hold please. Last week, I had shown that I wanted to start Ring Around the Rose Tree by Nora Corbett. And I had bought fabric, so it's this one. And I had bought fabric for it, and it calls for Confederate gray. But all Confederate grays, I don't think are created equal. And this is just, I started looking at it and looking at the colors, and there is a blue that plays a big part in that little girl's blue dress that is never going to show up on this. And I thought, that's not going to work. And so meanwhile, I had already, so I'll save that for something else. It's a beautiful piece of fabric. So I, meanwhile, had ordered something, not knowing I was going to buy something at the thread shop. Thread shop, what is it? Cross stitch floss store.
Threadneedle Street. Thread shop.
My Friday morning escape. Anyway, I had ordered from 1 2 3 Stitch just a 32 count Lugana, which I really wanted it on a Lugana, and I remembered that. And so I just got a piece of antique white Lugana, and I think that's going to be just pretty on it. So I got that, and then, but I had also ordered, which I haven't done this for myself for a long time. I got all the beads.
Oh, fun.
There's I think I'm missing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6. I think I have them all. I think I'm missing a bead for my sunflower fairy. I think I need a blue. But I also think I have a gold from a long time ago that I'm going to use.
Oh yeah.
I did do stuff with beading. So anyway, that fabric came, my beads came. And then I had found another shop online. And it is hard to, her name, the author is Teresa Morgida. And her shop is, I'm gonna have to give it to Sarah to put on there. Actually, she's got a blog. It's Croquette. It's a different language. I can't even, I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. But anyway, I thought this was really cute. It's called Old Owl. I think, oh, she's Italian, because these are, so what happened was I went to her shop and I saw I saw this one and a couple others, and they were really cute. And I can't even remember where they are now, because I thought they were PDFs, because this was a PDF, and because there was no shipping. And I thought, well, they must be all PDFs. And it turned out only this one was a PDF. The other two were actually coming. But she had free shipping to America, which I thought was pretty impressive. So anyway, I don't have those yet, but and then a long time ago, I had bought this, but never had printed it out. It's a design by Jenny Van de Weel, and it's called, her shop, I think, is Homestitchness. Somebody that I follow, and it's this beautiful little, she has a lot of seasonal ones of these in hoops, and they're just,
That's cute.
Yeah, so I printed that off. And then there's another gal. This one looks insane. Little room in the attic. I might have talked about her before. This pattern is this many pages long.
Is it really huge? I can't really tell I haven't seen the front.
The stitch count is only 142 over 124, and it's this bird.
Chart just really, really big.
It's a really interesting. She's got little bits on each page. And there's a lot of blended, but it's beautiful. I mean, I just really love that little bird.
That is cute.
I think she's got a winter one. So anyway, I had bought that a while ago. And then I had also printed out, finally, I think Clue 2 of Dreaming Girl. And then I talked last week about my order with the silver needle, because I wanted a couple of, oh, sorry. Oh, ow, just bumped my knee. Ow, 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 ow. There was a couple of, with Thy Needle and Threads that I wanted. And one of them was a pattern that I had seen Priscilla stitch. She was working on it like one of the first years I started watching their Flosstube. She was working on it as part of her mania, and she had started it a long, long time ago. This picture is not very good, but I fell in love with the quirkiness of it, and it's called Pumpkin Farm.
Oh yeah, I remember.
And it's this, and his face is 1/1. I can't get it to. Anyway.
Pumpkin-headed guy riding a crow. Presumably.
Yeah, pumpkin-headed guy riding on a crow with a little pumpkin farm below him and a little house. Anyway, every time she showed it, I loved it, but I never could find it, like when I just Googled for it. But then when I went on Silver Needle, which is her, I think is it her website, or I don't know, but they got all of her stuff and it was still available. So I ordered it. I had ordered 3 patterns that we were holding on to it for a while, because only one of them was in stock. And it had been, I ordered them on January 28th, and I still hadn't gotten anything as of March 1st. I called, I think it was this week, I called, forget that. And they said, oh, I said, I'm just checking on my order, and 2 of them were in. So I said, well, you just ship the 2 that are there, and I'll pay shipping on the other one when it comes in. And it's a Christmas one. But I found this one, and I've seen this one. It's called Easter Parade.
Oh, cute. I've seen that too.
And he will go along with Mr. Easter Peep.
Who's the designer on that again?
Brenda Gervais.
Oh, okay. And the other, the pumpkin farm is?
Brenda Gervais.
Also, okay.
But it's like old. It's like, I think I saw that it's from 2000 and 9. I don't know anybody that's stitching it. I mean, I haven't seen it. One of them, this one calls for weeks, of course. This one, surprisingly, I think calls for all DMC. So it must have been before she got going on overdyes. And then the last haul that I have is I bought as a giveaway, but I also bought this when I went to the store because I had been seeing previews of these patterns on Instagram, and it also is Brenda Gervais, and it's jelly bean jelly. And they're just, there's a glare, but you got a little chicks. Is it 2 chicks?
Can you hold it closer?
A boy and girl chick.
Oh yeah, there. That's
good. Again, there's that cute little checkerboard bunny. That one. Anyway, they're just really cute, and they're not very big.
Yeah.
So there we go. If I tip it down, you can see. Anyway, so I bought that as a splurge for myself because, you know, why not?
Why not?
And then the last thing I was going to talk about was all of a sudden I noticed on Facebook, on one of the groups I'm in, people were talking about this stitching book club that I got a tag on my thumb. I thought, why does my thumb feel numb? And it is the gal that's doing this, her name is Kristen Ashley, and she's from her blog and everything is, and I think on Instagram is Sapphire Mountain Handcrafts. And apparently she started this last year. And so what she does is they pick a book. She only picks books that are in the public domain for the most part, so that they're easy to get and she doesn't have to worry about any copyright licenses. And then she designs a chart that goes along with it. And she has, I think today is the first day of discussion, I think on Facebook and Instagram for the book they're doing right now. But last year, I think they did, well, the one I know for sure they did the Secret Garden. And she releases the chart in increments too. And she designs the chart to kind of go along with the pattern. The Secret Garden pattern is adorable. And they're not big. They're not big. Oh, they did Frankenstein?
Yeah, you had said that.
Frankenstein, and they did Secret Garden, and I think another Bronte or what's the other one? Bronte or the one that I'm reading now. Anyway, then they also did Jane Austen. Jane Austen. I think they did a Jane Austen one, but then the last one they did before Christmas was Dickens. What is it?
Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. I was going to say Christmas Story, but that wasn't right. And she did a beautiful a pattern for that. So I watched the video that she put up with a group, a couple of people. Well, it was Michelle Bendy and the guy that used to be part of Stitch Mania Facebook group, but they've closed down their group. So anyway, not sure what that's all about, but there's a new group. They interviewed her in December about the upcoming year. And so she did her book releases, and she's doing right now, they're doing, I don't want to show, hold on, Sense and Sensibility. This is part 1.
Oh, cute.
And these are the called for colors. Now she calls for a new DMC that I didn't know is number 5. I couldn't even Google search what color it was, but it's a kind of a brownish, but these are the colors for it. Anyway, but her other books this year are going to be Little Women, which I'm really excited about. And Great Gatsby, which just went out into public domain this year. But then her biggest excitement was she contacted the copyright holders of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, because I think she wants to do that one around Christmas time because it's a winter theme. And they granted her rights to do up to 600. She could do 600. She could release 600 patterns for it. That's it. Or I think it's 600 or 900 maybe. So she's very limited. The other ones are all unlimited, but and her patterns, even if you don't do the stitch along, like the past patterns are still available if you wanted to do them. But anyway, so that was kind of exciting. And I thought, well, that might be kind of a fun thing to do. And Little Women really excites me because I have a book of that I wanted to read last year. And I love Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So I'm hoping that I will not be devastated and will be able to actually get a copy of that pattern. So that was one of the things I had written down. I told Sarah, I have notes today. The other note that I have is that I've been using my Valdani threads wrong.
Really?
Yes.
About that.
Well, they come the ones I have are 3-stranded. So I thought, oh, I think it's 2 for 2. So I thought, well, it's kind of dumb because now I've got this one strand that's not going to match. When I separate them, no, you use all 3 strands.
Oh.
But I'm not going to redo my fairy. She's got plenty of coverage with 2.
Are you going to switch to doing 3 for the rest of the project?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
no, I'm going to keep it 2. Yeah. But when I start my autumn Quakers, which you got me for Christmas, I'll do the 3. Yeah. But it doesn't feel like I don't have good coverage on my sunflower fairy. So I was surprised. But anyway, so in case anybody's wondering about those Valdani threads, don't take your advice from me.
Do the 3 strands
all together. I don't know why I didn't ever catch that before. And then I did watch some Flosstube. Did you watch any Flosstube this week?
Nope. I went to bed early, so nope.
I watched Tina Stitches has a new one out.
I need to.
Tina, if you're watching us, that beloved piece you are doing, I stare at that and I'm like, how can that be stitching? It's, is that black and white one? It's that looking at it going, how is that? It's stunning. Anyway, so I watched her this morning.
Crazy.
Watched that Stitching in the Bluegrass. She's so fun. That's Jen. She had kind of she had a rough time, but she had a cute video. And there's a sampler she's doing that I thought, I'm not really big into those old-fashioned samplers, but this one was gorgeous. I think it's called Oh Joyous Day, maybe. Anyway, watch She's Look Stitch. She's got amazing stuff going on too. And then also Candy has a new one out from the 614 Stitch. Like, yeah, I got to watch her.
I've got to go watch. I did watch a couple weeks ago, and I don't think we talked about it. I watched somebody new to me, but I'm sure she's not new to a lot of people, is Georgia Girl Stitcher, I think. I'm going to make sure that that's really who I watch. Or maybe just Georgia Stitcher. Let me just double check this really quick. Georgia Stitcher might be different than Georgia Girl Stitcher. I'm not sure. Georgia Stitcher she has 12 videos, so I don't know when she started. I guess her first video was about 7 months ago. And she has videos with at least one or maybe both of her daughters, which is kind of fun. So her daughter's around the same age as my girls. So if you're looking for more, like maybe more kids because I think she videos the whole time with them. And I'm just like, how are you doing that? Because I know about 10 minutes is my max for dealing with my children on camera.
They have more stuff that they're showing? Her daughters? No, they're just on there entertaining.
They chat like you and I chat, but her girls are like 9 and 12. So I'm impressed. I don't think my girls would be quite that enjoyable to me that whole time. In this context. Now I enjoy them a great deal in other contexts, but you kind of see how I start to get like, okay, like leave. I love you, but this is now too much for me to manage.
Yeah.
All of you at the same time in front of a camera. But anyways, Georgia Stitcher.
Okay. Good for her.
Yeah, her stuff is cute. So but I didn't watch her this week. That was a week or 2 ago, but that was kind of fun to watch somebody else whose kids are about the same age as me.
Yeah. What are your plans?
Plans this week. Okay, I made a list. Look at us being so organized. So I want to get 2 hours on my Whipco toile piece, the toile sampler, and 3 hours on my Snapperland to kind of make up for how I'm lagging behind on that. I could probably finish that whole little square if I did 3 hours and maybe start on the last square. I have a sock that's really close to being finished that I'm knitting, but I want to finish that. And I have a baby gift I really need to get yarn for and start knitting. for my new niece who's coming not too long from now. I think I'm going to set up a wheel to select for the days because I think maybe that was part of my problem this week. I was just kind of like, I don't know what to choose. I'll just work on this. And I wasn't feeling really excited about it. So I might set up one of those choosy wheels like you have.
Yeah.
And then the last thing I was going to talk about is this plan. I have this pattern that was sent to us that I think I'm going to stitch the sampler, not the needle book. I might eventually do the needle book too, but I love this sampler.
Oh, yes.
It seems like a perfect start for March.
Yes.
And I'm going to put it on this.
Oh, yeah.
So it calls only for specialty flosses. It calls for crescent colors.
Those are classic color works. These are old.
No, yeah, that's right. I don't have any of the colors it calls for even. I'm not going to spend a bunch of money on this little. I think I can probably find substitutes from what I already have or DMCs. In fact, I might like it better. Like, I feel like the words are a little hard to see using that green at least.
Yeah. Does she give a conversion to DMC?
No, there's no conversion listed. So
there is some online.
I might be able to find an online suggestion for DMC conversions. I'm not even sure how important it would be to have that variegation for those flosses for such a small project. I mean, it does kind of add a little depth or a little, variety.
Like the word cabbage is hard to read. And lettuce.
Cabbage and lettuce, whatever green that she used for that. That's that was it's pretty. I can see why people would do it, but I'm just not gonna kill myself for the. Let's see.
Right.
Although it feels like it's missing a page. Let me look at this. Oh no, I see how it is. Okay, never mind. The cabbage color is Weeping Willow. It is a really pretty color. I just think it doesn't. And maybe the photo isn't great. Maybe in person it's not quite as light. But so I'm gonna probably just come up with my own conversions and maybe look around online and see if other people have stitched this with other ideas. I'll look through what I already have for Gentle Arts in my stash, which isn't like a huge stash. But I already know for sure I'll probably use a DMC for that red because I don't think I have a red like that. So anyways, I think I might start that this week because, we need new starts. Fresh from the Garden, Little House chart number 93.
That'll be cute.
Cute. So I will be gathering materials for that and try and start that this week.
Okay.
Those are all my plans. How about you?
Well, my plan is to continue working on Joyful World to get March done. And my Forest Queen, I need to get some more hours on her. Then I did spin the wheel and Things of Summer got called twice. So I'm going to work on that today and I'm going to work on that on Saturday. And then Things of Autumn got called for my Friday.
Oh, it's going to be a Alicia Paulson week for you. Last week was Barbara Anna. This week.
I know. A Ear and Hawk Run Hollow got called. I haven't worked on that in ages. And I'm going to start trying the half cross because it's 1/1.
Yeah.
Button Up got called twice.
Oh, wow.
Called up for Monday and Wednesday. And then the last thing is Tuesday, and it's my Loose Feathers. It's the Blackbird Designs birds. So I haven't worked on that for a while either. So that was I'm always happy when they come up. Except for last week, I didn't ever work on my Bloom Pincushion, which was a February start. I was supposed to work on that yesterday, but I think I just worked on Mr. Peep instead. And I didn't work that much because I spent most of the day cleaning and decorating. So those are my plans. I don't have any big new start plans that I know of, but you never know.
You never know what you're going to get next week when you tune in. Could have like 5 new starts for you.
Good.
Look at all those new charts you just got in the mail.
I know my magazine monthly goal was to start and finish that Barbara Anna. I'm going to work on that too, the spring piece, because I need to start. My goal is to start and finish that this month. And I also have to work in Dumpster Fire Friends.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's supposed to get 4 hours this month. Red Cardinals is supposed to get 3 hours this month. And Button Up is supposed to get 3 hours, which will obviously get because I'm going to work on it twice. So we're good. I think I just need to work in Dumpster Fire and Cardinals.
Fun.
Yeah.
What you reading? You said you were almost done last week with that other book.
I did. I finished it. Yeah, it was okay. It had an okay ending. It wasn't great.
Was it worth the hours you put into it?
been reading that book for months.
Is it worth the calories?
No. And I'm reading now. I started Fresh Green by Miss Reed. It's the first one in the Fresh Green. I did barely started that. And then I started another one that I had on my Kindle that I bought, I think a long time ago, called I Blame It on the Tornado. It's a memoir of a gal that actually got caught in a tornado in her house in Illinois, and literally ground zero was her house. It doesn't talk a lot about, I'm not that far in. I mean, you get the general gist. They were in the process of buying a home in Arkansas and moving because her husband had retired, but she was still working a little bit longer, and he wasn't home when it hit. And they had this huge, I mean, humongous oak tree that just demolished their house. They had to just tear the house down. They sold it to somebody that was just going to tear it down. So then the rest of the book, she probably maybe does some flashbacks to that. I mean, she clearly would have some PTSD being caught in the tornado. It hit like that. I mean, she didn't have any warning. She was on the phone with somebody walking to her bedroom. Thing. Yeah, like crazy. She had noticed some storm clouds, but didn't think much about it. And when you live back there, you know, you are on alert when the clouds don't look right. So anyway, the rest of the book, I think, is their life in the Ozarks and there's some quirky things with their property. And the last part I read about that, they were trying to put together this huge metal shed that they bought. Like, it's huge. They had to bring in, like, just her and her husband, like farm equipment to raise the beam. So I think it's just kind of a memoir about their, anyway. So I was on my Kindle. I didn't have time. I didn't really feel like scrolling through and I've got so many books on my Kindle that it was at the top. So I started it one night. Yeah. And I'm going to start Sense and Sensibility too.
Oh, good. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
I'm
22 chapters behind.
On the read aloud or the read along. Well, I'm also supposed to be doing a read along this week, and this month, and I haven't even started the book a week into the month. So that's my goal this week. That's another goal, is to start.
This is better.
The Rosemary Tree by Elizabeth Googe. And I finished the book I showed last week, the Lockwood and Company second book, The Whispering Skull, and it was a fun romp through ghost-infested warehouses in the middle of the night, just fun and easy read. And so I decided to pick up, after that, I was given this book for my birthday. It's called Piranesi, last fall. It's by Susanna Clark, who also wrote, her other book that she's really known for is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which they made like a Netflix or Amazon or something series of, but the book is like huge and so fun and so interesting and worth reading. And then she didn't really write much after that for a while. She did write like a short story collection called The Ladies of Grace Adieu and Other Stories, which I have. And I enjoyed it, but it's just not the same as reading like a whole, I enjoy short stories, but they're not like my favorite type of reading. So this book is definitely more of a whole story. I mean, it's a story. It's written like a journal entry, and I don't even know how to describe it other than it's fascinating and enjoyable. Here, I'll just say a little bit on the cover. It talks about this, the main character is named, we think, Piranesi, and he lives in a house. It's no ordinary building. Its rooms are infinite. Its corridors endless. Its walls are lined with thousands upon thousands of statues, each one different from all the others. Within the labyrinth of halls, an ocean is imprisoned. So basically the setting is almost a character, and he's alone except for one other person in this labyrinth of house. And he lives all by himself in this huge cold stone maze of a place. And what you basically realize very quickly as the reader is things are not what they seem to him. And he, through the course of the book, of course, begins to have to be faced with the reality that things are not what they seem for him. And he doesn't know why, and he doesn't remember, but suddenly, I mean, you're thinking the whole time, like, who is this person? And why is he alone in this house? And how did he get here? Because he talks about things right from the beginning that if that's where he was born and raised, he talks about the real world. He uses words like that you wouldn't have the context for if this was his whole life. So obviously something is weird here. And that's how far in I am. And I have a hard time putting it down, which is, to me, that's a big deal because I don't read very many books where it's like really hard to put them down. Usually I'm like, 10 pages. I enjoyed that. Okay, time to go to bed. I'm like, okay, I have to put this down, but maybe I'll read one more journal entry because the journal entries are just a page or two. So interesting. I told my husband this morning, I think what I realized is I really love books that start off with, I don't know what the heck is going on. And it's slowly, like, it's almost like a mystery novel, but not like a formulaic mystery. It's more like.
This sounds more mystery.
So
yeah, sounds different than a mystery novel.
Really interesting. Really, really interesting. So I'm enjoying that. So that's why I haven't started the Rosemary Tree, because I'm loving that so much.
Maybe I'll read that after you.
Yeah, I'll pass it. Well, Jesse might steal it first, but then when he's done, he'll probably get it fast. He's a fast reader.
He's got too much to do. He's got homework to do.
I know. He's a slow reader right now, actually. Maybe I'll pass it to you. And then we're also reading Anne of Green Gables at night, which is really so good. So delightful.
I keep meaning to listen to that. I listened to the entry, the intro on Craftlit.
On Craftlit. Isn't it fun? I mean, just
I was shocked because I did not know that she committed suicide. I mean, yeah.
Ella Montgomery had. She was really kind of psychologically. Well, I don't know if she was. I can't really remember everything, but her life was not easy.
Her mom died at birth, or when she was little. Her dad left her with her grandparents. She was very lonely. I think her grandparents were pretty strict.
I didn't remember feeling like I had the impression that her marriage was particularly happy.
She was married to a
Presbyterian pastor
who decided
because a lot of the characters like Marilla and Matthew are Presbyterian.
And he became convinced that his family was not part of the elect. And if you don't know about Presbyterian faith,
God has chosen you.
Yeah. And so if you're not chosen, it's too theological to get into. But
I think he was a mess. Like
he was a mess, and he inflicted abuse on the children and on her. And I don't even know if she was probably still married to him when she committed suicide, but I have no idea. I'd never really read much about her. I mean, I read the books, but I didn't read much about her. So anyway, that was pretty interesting. And she talks about how some of those themes, the solitary and some of other stuff about her life, when you know about that, you recognize that in Anne Shirley a little bit. Even though she claims Anne Shirley wasn't her, I'm sure some of those things made their way into her book. So anyway, I'm going to start listening to that this week while I'm working. I try to watch a few Flosstubes while I'm working, but it's so distracting because then I'm taking notes. And if I have to stop and make a phone call, I don't know. It's just, if I'm doing mindless stuff, I can do it. But I would definitely have a book on. So I'm going to try to, listen to that one. That's really fun.
That's so good. So that's with Craftlit. It's a podcast. Find it. There's
on any platform.
Books. One of my other favorites, once you finish that one, you might really like The Woman in White. It's really good and really interesting.
I remember that book. I never read it.
I hadn't read it before either, but that's one that always jumps out to me when I think back. And there's a really fun version of Dracula with like multiple readers doing different things. And it's kind of
I've never read Dracula.
It's so fun. So if you feel like you finish Anne and you're looking for more.
Maybe I'm going to get all educated with my classics now.
Well, she's so good at like helping you know the jokes and the context and stuff. So that's Heather, who I have, we've talked about her a couple of weeks in a row, but I really appreciate her. She actually has a Zoom meetup on Thursdays. I've always meant to do it, but I usually have my online Bible study. Like my Bible study is that night, so I can't really ever do it, but I wish. And she plans a tour every couple years, and they're going to Ireland next year. And I'm just like, oh, I wish I could go, but there's no money for that right now.
What book is she doing right now? I can't remember. Did you talk about it?
Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen.
I've always wanted to read that, so that'll be one that I'll.
Yeah, it's really different than her other books. I'm really liking it. So that I'm also reading that, but just an hour or two a week.
Okay, so clearly we're dedicated and.
So there's our book chat. There you go. Some ideas for you all. Creepy, fun, not creepy.
If you found some new things out there, let us know. I'm always looking for new authors too.
Yeah. So.
Do
we have a giveaway this week?
Do we have a giveaway? Yes, we do. Hold on, I just took the price tag off of it. It's bugging me here. I did when I went to my Red Needle Street store. I found this adorable Summer House Stitchworks Be Happy.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's cute.
And it's adorable. And it's just DMC. It's easy. They did it on a 32 count, but you're free to do whatever you want. And there's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors.
And all DMC. So
DMC.
trade them out if you want it to be pink or red.
I know, it's
great.
so cute. It's so cute.
I think we should have people say something that's making them happy this week.
Okay.
Whether it's food that you got to eat, or a recipe you love, or a book you're reading, or something you're stitching, or somebody in your life that's making you happy. Share with us. Tell us something that will make us happy too.
Making you happy.
The word happy.
What's making you happy?
What's making me happy? Well, that book, Pure Nisi, is making me happy. It's like really fun to have a book that I just don't want to put down. And the other thing that's making me happy a lot is, so we homeschool. I've talked about this a little bit because I've been reading the Charlotte Mason books, but it's a philosophy of education that I use. I've like studied and really love. And I was asked to kind of co-organize a new organization that was just getting off the ground prior to COVID. I was part of the team to plan a retreat, and then we had to cancel and push back the retreat, which was kind of put on hold indefinitely. And one of the gals that was the two of the people leading it had to back out because they had some life circumstances. So they asked if I would jump in. And that's making me really happy to work with this other gal to think about how we can serve our community in the Northwest. So it's called Charlotte Mason Northwest, and we're trying to get it going. And we just got our first retreat dates on the calendar for spring of 2022. And I told Jesse, that's the first thing I feel like I've been really excited and joyful about thinking about for the future for a while. So that's making me happy. What's making you happy?
I don't know. Am I happy?
Mod Pizza. I know right now Mod Pizza.
My belly is going to make me really happy tonight. We haven't done that for ages. We didn't even, I think we haven't had Mod Pizza since we went into lockdown in November again, because we just didn't ever order any to go. Oh, what's making me happy? My stitching's making me really happy. I mean, I feel sometimes a little flustered that I have so much going, but then having a finish kind of, yeah, I mean, I'm happy about that. I'm happy about this granddaughter that's coming. I'm unhappy that I haven't started my knitting project for her yet, though, and the shower's in a couple of weeks.
That should probably go on your goals this week, Mom.
I have no knitting mojo, none, zip, zero. The yarn is sitting at my desk over there where I see it all day long while I'm working. And I think I picked a pattern, but yeah.
I need to go get yarn, and I think I'm not, we're like trying to make it with our budget. So I haven't started anything either, but I did get her a little something for her last shower. So, but I am hoping to make a sweater.
I'm also feeling maybe happy or more hopeful. I think COVID numbers are continuing to go down in my area, so that's hopeful. 6 out of the 10 of our little family are vaccinated now. Holding my breath for you guys. I mean, that makes me feel relieved, happy, maybe that,
Jesse thinks he probably could qualify because he's going to be working with kids.
Yeah. So I feel like there's progress and there's hope. I guess I feel like there's hope. Yeah, that kind of made me happy. My dad got his yesterday, his second one, and he had no reaction, and he's 84, so that made me really happy. So yeah, the little things in life. It feels a little bit more normal. I mean, yeah, that feels good. And we have trips
here are opening up, like even in the fall when the restaurants were open here again. The fast food restaurants never opened their dining areas, but yesterday when we were up in another county, so they're probably in a different region. I don't know if our fast food lobbies are opening up, but up there, just about an hour away, they had open fast food lobbies to sit down and eat.
What county were you in?
Kittitas. We went hiking up in Ellensburg area.
I bet you're grouped together because these groups.
Yeah, we weren't sure which region they were in. Yeah, I haven't looked it up to see if they're in our region.
Ours have opened up. I feel like maybe some of ours have opened up.
Yeah, some of ours all of them. I just haven't noticed.
Yeah. Anyway, so it just is nice because my 1-year anniversary from working from home is tomorrow.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Crazy to think. Well, maybe it's Tuesday because it would have been back a day. So maybe it's Tuesday because it does feel crazy. And I was thinking the other day how long last year felt with this drug. this year feels like it's not doing that. And we joke about how, oh, it's just 2020 and port two, but I do feel like this year, maybe we've gotten into our rhythms or something and things have more hope. But I feel like this year, like, whoa, we're in March.
Yeah. I told Jesse this morning that winter did not seem to be drag on at all like it did the last couple of years. And there's probably a few reasons for that for us, but definitely did not feel the same major like winter. I hate winter. Let's be done with it. So maybe this is kind of ticking along.
I feel like stitching has helped me a lot. I think there was Bringo helped with that, with the new things to look forward to every day.
Yeah.
Something else to focus on rather than just, oh, it's January. Although I don't hate January like some people do, but yeah, I just feel like it flew by.
People.
Yeah.
Like this one.
Mm-hmm. But it did, just felt like it flew by.
This year. And February really went fast for me.
Yeah. So anyway, tell us what's making you happy. Tell us what you're reading. Yeah. And thanks for watching and subscribing. This was a really long episode, Sarah. You might have to edit some of this.
Okay. Well, we will do that if we need to. Okay.
We love you all. Be safe. Be well.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Happy stitching.